Credit Union, your St. Louis
Blue Note Fan Report. I guess I lied. Said there wouldn't be a show today, but there seems to be some interest in me talking about hockey. Yes, that is our favorite sport. That is what we like to talk about on the Blue Note Fan Report. We also talk about a little bit of hockey, or pardon me, baseball, a little bit of football, a little bit of soccer, all them other sports that are out there. Turn TV on. For you and me, I got a TV that doesn't want to turn on unless I talk to it. So I'm trying to get it to turn on here and watch some other stuff. Hello, Miss Ashley. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
The Ashley Show today.
Yeah, I actually wanted a show today.
I've actually been sitting today, and I took a little bit of a nap and did something today. We, did a personal family thing, and I've been on a few different online forums, few chat groups, and I seem to be out on an island thinking that this Kadri issue was on Kadri. The majority of the groups that I work with, that they do not see this. They see this as just a hockey play, and that's all it is. Well, I did something, and we'll show it here in a little bit, give some people some time to get the word out that I'm live and that we're here. I got this play in my video editor.
Oh.
I can take it not second by second, 30 frames per second.
Awesome. Let's do it.
And there was, in one of these groups, someone sent a picture, and I want to bring this picture up. And they used this picture as an example to say that Kadri was going for the puck.
Yeah. I mean, I've been called a homer today, too. So.
Oh, no. I get it. Right? Well, that's one of the things
hey, Danny.
that I've been told, that Kadri's reputation and his past should have nothing to do with this. Well, I disagree with that, right? And one of the things that I disagree with, one of the reasons I disagree with this, and I was trying to think of a good example, something that I could sit there and say, this is what you relate it to. And I couldn't come up with a solid one. So what I kind of came up with was more of a general one, right? You have two guys that are convicted of robbing a store. Guy A robs store A. Guy B robs store B. Okay? Guy A says, I'm hungry. I'm out of work. I was hungry. It was the only way I could eat. Guy B says, I'm hungry. It was the only way I could eat. Was to rob this food store, this grocery store, right? Okay. When you look at that, you say, okay, we kind of understand, but it's illegal to do it, so we're going to have to punish you. Okay, now I know this is a little out there, a little bit, but so what they do is they say, okay, we're going to punish guy A and we're going to punish guy B. But then they go and they look at their past histories. Their past histories come into play when they decide to dole out any type of punishment. Well, past history does matter, right? It really, really does. And I'm trying to get to the point where I can share this here for a second. I don't know how good you're going to be able to see this. I can't really blow it up. I can try.
Okay.
But let me add this to the stream. Now I'm going to see if I can blow it up a little bit. Unfortunately, it's like on a picture viewer, and I'm not sure if I can blow it up or not. Blow it up a little bit. See, and that's what I was afraid of, that it's going to go back down to a smaller size. But in this picture, if you kind of look at it, you see where his stick is, and his stick's almost on the puck. I get that.
Mm-hmm.
But what's hard to see in this picture, and I wish I could show it better. What's happening is it's blowing up the stuff behind it and not this picture, right?
Mm-hmm.
His head is looking right at Bennington.
I know.
Right?
I'm still kidding.
He is looking at Bennington. And to me, if you're going to score a goal, I'd say 90% of goals are scored when a guy is looking at the net.
Exactly.
Looking where he's going to score, not at the goalie to his left. Right? And that for me was a huge, like, the guy's looking at Bennington the whole way. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And again, as we get more people involved and you know, this gets shared out a little more, we're going to wait. But I do have, and I will bring it up here just a little bit in a second. We're going to look at this play, and I know hockey happens in a moment, but we're going to look at this frame by frame.
This is
Because
exactly what I
there's some
wanted to
stuff
do.
there. Say again?
This is exactly what I wanted to do, especially in my fights today on the different groups, because I couldn't find the right picture to show. But you can totally tell that Rosen was trying to stop and Kadri plowed him in.
Absolutely was Rosen trying to stop.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Hey.
Absolutely was Rosen trying to stop. And not only was Rosen trying to stop, the thing that everyone says, first of all, Rosen does lift his stick up. All right?
Mm-hmm.
Great defensive play on Rosen. After that, this play gets really interesting, and that's what the things. No, Kadri did not get suspended or nor fined. The NHL did not look at the play. Okay, you know what? That is what it is. I can't say anything about it because it's standard. You know, it's the majority of people are looking at this and saying it was a hockey play.
Mm-hmm.
I get it. I really do. However, you know, and this is another thing that's coming out, you know, I had a guy, first of all, tell me, oh, I hate Bennington because he's a bad person. And then I said, well, do you feel the same way about Kadri? Yes, I do. Oh, that wasn't Kadri's fault. Well, you know, you hated Bennington, so you're happy that Bennington did it. And you're probably more happier that it was Kadri that did it to him. So, you know, It wasn't somebody good that you had to say, oh, I don't know if I can say he did. Oh, Kadri, nobody likes Kadri, so I can say it was him that did it. Woo-hoo, this works for me. So let's get to some of our comments here real quick. Nolan Raymond's here. A lot of news with Kadri and Bennington. Absolutely. And that's why I'm on. Bennington is out for this series. Benner threw a water bottle at Kadri. He has a lower body injury. So how is that possible? He has a strained knee. So he probably had a knee brace on and he went over, saw him and just got pissed off and chucked an empty water bottle, not a full one, an empty one. Well,
in his general direction, because it didn't actually hit Kadri. It was just thrown in his general direction.
Oh, no, he threw it out.
No, he missed. Because if you would have seen it hit him on the interview, it didn't hit him.
Well, no, because they when it happened, here's the thing. When he threw the water bottle at him, hit him, whatever it was, they had cut to the play.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why it didn't get shown. If it had gotten shown, because that's what so when they come back, you look, Kadri's kind of looking around. This is when it happens, right? Mm-hmm. People think the Blues fans are being mad at Kadri. Yeah, that's one of the ones out there that I don't get. That, I'm sorry, I don't get. Right? That this has nothing to do with Kadri.
Apparently,
I seen the guy that put it out on Twitter.
According to The Athletic, there have been threats made to Kadri in a racist manner, but they're investigating. There's no proof of this either way.
No, I do know I have heard that local forces, you know, local law enforcement's involved, blah, 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 blah. Beast Ninja, you're right. Kadri is a dirty player. And that's the big thing in here that doesn't look. Looks like I was wrong about Ben being out. What do you mean? He's out. He's out for at least this series.
This one made me chuckle.
Just tuning in. You're like ahead of me a little bit.
Yeah.
E's here. Harry should go to jail. I think he's saying Kadri. No, Kadri shouldn't go to jail. Benner threw a water bottle at Kadri. Yes, he did. Police reports many threats against Kadri in St. Louis. Yeah. Does that surprise you? Right? We can't dwell on this. It's done and over with. Let's focus on punching back tomorrow. We'll talk about that later. I mean, it's a good point. It was like a half full, and it hit a crew member. I haven't heard all the stories. I mean, it's turning into a bunch of junk, right? 17 people on an off day. That tells you that this is the right time to be doing this, right?
Exactly.
Normally on an off day, we're lucky if we get 10, right? 5 is like a standard number, so I'll take it.
And it's my fault, guys. I literally forgot what day it was. I got on here. I reloaded my page and realized, oh, crap, it's Sunday. There's no show. So I messaged Guy. And
well,
said,
I had actually been thinking about doing a show, so it's not completely your fault, right? Not
hey,
completely
I'm
your
just
fault.
happy
And I
to
think
be here.
guys, I think that they're happy that we're doing one. Didn't feel safe in his team hotel, and apparently there were like police at the hotel or something. Oh.
I'll have to ask. I'll have to ask about that because I know some people that are working there.
I know some St. Louis. I'm not going to reach out to him though on this. That's kind of stupid. Let's talk about what goaltender interference is. We would, if the league would ever, because you know what? You look back in game 2, there was that goaltender interference call. These look like the exact same 2 plays.
Exactly.
Right? So, you know what? I think it's time. Let's just see if I can do this here now. Right? Share screen. Okay.
I think Roland means at Kadri there, but.
Say again.
He said,
you've got control of the comments now while I'm doing this, right?
Funny, Benner throwing a water bottle. I think he means at Kadri, but he said at Benner.
Yeah.
Bob Morton says we can't just go crazy over being physical against them. Nope. We need to get to our game and get back deeper in our zone. I agree. We need to annihilate them on the scoreboard. I mean, yeah, I don't really particularly like Kadri, Nolan, but I don't want to talk that way.
Yeah, I don't want to talk that way either.
I just want to make his life miserable while we finish out this series and hopefully eliminate them. Yeah, I would rather send them crying back to Colorado.
No, and I will say this. I got to say Hockey Bob is dead on this, right? I do not condone anyone saying anything of any racist manner to anyone.
Exactly.
Period. Exactly. No matter how you feel. Right? That I do not condone it. I wouldn't do it. Even though I've been accused of being a racist in the past, but that's neither here nor there.
I don't condone or support that whatsoever, which is why I'm saying we need to annihilate them on the scoreboard.
Okay, so stop with the comments for a second so we can show this play.
All right, let's do it.
So this is the beginning of the play. You have Landeskog here. I think that was Landeskog that took the shot, right? Where I'm going to play it in regular speed, and I don't know if you'll get to hear the volume or not.
Okay.
Lekanen. Okay. That's where Bennington goes down. So now we're going to go back, and I'm going to take a look at this play. A
little too far, bud.
Yeah, a little too far there. I forgot that I put this on the bottom of something, so go back to this a little bit slower. I didn't make this its own video, so that's why it's okay.
All right.
Okay, so let me get up to the right spot. Sorry.
I didn't say anything, sorry.
No. I'm sorry that it's taken me a bit to get
you're
this.
Fine.
Okay, so here's the play, right? Here's Lekanen coming down, taking the shot. Oops. And I just did something.
Oh, no.
No, I think I'm okay. Here we go. So here's Lekanen. He's coming down. Now, this is frame by frame. This isn't second by second. I'm at 30 frames per second. So we're getting this frame by frame, and this is from a video from Tough Call on YouTube. Well, you know what? We'll get to that. Okay. So actually, and I'll cover something here in a second because someone makes a good point, but I disagree with this point.
Okay.
So he fires the puck, fires the shot, and you're going to see. I don't know how well you can see it, but the puck is right here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Puck's right there. Keep going. Mikko in front. There's the puck. You see the puck right here.
Yep, puck.
Right? So it catches him and he doesn't hold on to it. That's fine. However, watch Kadri. I think even if Bennington holds on to that puck, Kadri still boils into him. I really do.
I do too.
Right? He has yet, right now, he looks down, sees the puck, then watch his head. Look how it turns. He's looking at Bennington at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Look at Rosen's feet. Rosen's feet are at this angle. That is a stopping angle. He's not skating, he's stopping. You even see, as I do this, you can see snow.
Yep.
It's Kadri that's not stopping. Right?
Mm-hmm.
The puck is now under them. Get one more frame out of this. You can see the puck is right there. Right here. Here's the puck. Right? Look at Kadri. He is already bent down, angling towards Bennington. Angling towards him. Right? I mean, you can say he was going for the puck, but his body language tells me he wasn't.
Nope.
He tried to hit the puck, he got his stick lifted, and then he turned his body right towards Bennington. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So look, he's the one that hits Bennington first, not Rosen. Everyone says Rosen hit Bennington. No, Kadri right here hits first. Right? And look at his skates. They were never in a position to stop.
Nope.
You can see here, he's pushing with them.
Mm-hmm.
He's throwing his body at Bennington.
Yep,
Right?
he totally did. And yes, Brandon, I totally said the same thing earlier today in another group. Who pushed him, Casper?
Yeah, he didn't get. Well, what I think he meant was he got tangled up, and he said pushed. So I give him some benefit of the doubt there. I give him a little bit of a benefit of the doubt, not much, but a little bit. Okay, I can understand getting words mixed up in the heat of the battle and getting a water bottle thrown at you. I mean, you're out there on ice with these real thin blades and, getting a water bottle thrown at you. Oh my goodness. That's like the scariest thing in the world.
I know, right?
Right. Actually, the thing is, Nolan, the police are investigating it because it is, I think it is happening.
Oh, I think it is too. I don't doubt it. And I don't understand why people have to take it that far. I get that we're all mad. I'm really mad. But it's not something that needs to be taken to a racist level. It's something that needs to be taken on the ice by the team and to the back of their net so that we can eliminate them.
Yeah, he pushes Rosen backwards away from Benner. Mm-hmm. Right? It's Kadri that falls on Benner's legs. It's Kadri that falls on him. I mean, yeah, and he did mainly hit Bennington. Look at the best way to get back at them is to end their season and send them all to go. I agree with that. I absolutely agree with that.
And Robert Foley, I'm really hoping so. I've been thinking this myself. This may ignite the team, just like the hand pass in San Jose.
I hope so. I really do. My problem is I don't trust Husso.
You see, I do. Husso is a good goalie. Yes, he had a bad start yesterday because he came in unexpectedly, but you let him prepare for game 4, he's going to come in there and he's going to be lights out. He did it when we needed him to.
Like you prepared for games 2 and 3 against Minnesota?
I mean, that wasn't all on him. That was on the team too. The team did not play good games those games. However, Husso was there for us when we needed him when Bennington was in his slump.
Okay, fair enough.
And I trust the depth of this team. This team is going to respond.
They need to respond on the scoreboard.
Exactly.
Right? One of the things. Oh no, he was locked in mini. Oh, I hope you're talking about Bennington. Oh, how do we? Okay, yeah, he was. Okay, yeah, because I had missed. Right? He says up here. He said he was. Do we have a chance in this series with Benner being out? And then he says he was locked in mini. Yeah, he was locked in this series.
Mm-hmm.
He really was. You know, one of the things, and I wrote this article about it, and I've talked about it. The Blues, when the Blues don't score 4 goals, they don't win.
Mm-hmm.
They don't win. Scoring 4 goals or less, they were 9, 17, and 10, I think is that number.
Mm-hmm.
9, 17, and 10.
Yeah.
That's out to you. And in fact, every game this playoffs that they've lost, they've scored 2 goals or less.
Mm-hmm.
So when it comes down to it, this is a team whose best defense is their offense.
Exactly. We have to score our goals. And if we're not scoring our goals, it doesn't matter what the goaltender does.
Well, wait a minute. So it's okay to complain about Bennington, but it's not okay to complain about Husso.
Well, dude, you're the only one complaining about Husso. I'm all for him. He is our chance, and I trust him. He did it when Bennington had COVID until he got injured, but when he came back, he was still on it. He had a couple of bad games. If we weren't going to give up on Bennington when he had his slump, we can't give up on Husso.
That if Husso, if the Husso that comes back and plays this series was the Husso that played this season, okay, great. But if we get the Husso that played last season and then against Mini, no, I have every right.
I'm all right with the Husso that played Mini game 1.
Okay, Mini game 1, but not getting
He had
games 2
2
or
bad
3.
games in Mini. He had 2 bad games in Mini. I'll give him that. And he was on a short lease. He got pulled. He was put into an impossible situation where you're not expecting Bennington to go out. You're not prepared for that. You got to give him a shot.
I disagree. These guys, first of all, I've seen goalies get replaced before and not give up a goal on the first shot, on the first 5 shots, on the first 10 shots. I've seen goalies get replaced and win a game, i.e. Chucky Sideburn.
So have I. However, this was a little bit more emotional for the team, so I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt.
Okay,
Okay, tomorrow night, he comes out, he lets them score a goal on the first 3 shots. You can complain about Husso all you want. However, until he does that, I believe that he is capable of doing what he did in game 1 against Mini.
No, and he gave it up on the second shot.
Yeah, it was his second.
Okay, it was the second shot. And in the other 2 games, he gave up 2 goals on the first 3 shots. Look, I get it. I really do. I understand where everybody's at. And if you want to send a link to Lance, I don't know if he's out there, just send a link in that little group, see if somebody shows up. That's better than the first. Not much. Not much, my friend. Not much. You're right. It simply comes down to this. The team has to come up to another level, and Husso has to come up to another level. Right?
And I will agree with that wholeheartedly, but I believe that this is going to motivate the team to stick together. I really do. Just like that hand pass.
That's partially right and partially wrong, right? You say the team playing horribly in front of them. Sometimes it's the other team forcing that, the other team forcing issues, the other team forcing turnovers, the other team using speed or using something against them. A lot of times, see, this is the thing to me that I think I talk about this all the time. Your elite goalies, the elite goalies, do this to a T. Every single one of them does it. And in fact, the last month of the season and this postseason, Benner was doing it. They make the saves they're not supposed to make.
And I'm not arguing that, Bud. I'm not whatsoever.
Well, but I'm coming
But
up.
one thing that irritates me that you keep saying is the other team forces them. The thing is that you can't allow the other team to force you to do anything. You have to respond. And if you refuse to respond and allow them to do that, then that's on the team. You have to have a response. You can't just let them push you around. And if you don't have a response, that's on you.
Bennington's rebound was not a bad rebound to let up. It was right in front of him. And given normal circumstances, he probably could have bounced on it. And I think that's what he was trying to do, was pounce on that rebound. Right? Husso's rebounds, if that had been, Husso's rebounds come straight out to the center of the ice, that probably would have ended up in the back of the net.
Yeah.
Hockey Bob, still my point is neither goalie had fewer bad games than the player. I kind of disagree with that, but that's how you see it, and that's fine, right?
See, I don't disagree with Hockey Bob. That's kind of what I was getting at, is that if your team is being forced to do anything and you're not responding, that's a bad look on you. You have to have a response.
Oh, Edmonton just scored again. They are taking somebody got a hat trick. I think it's probably McDavid.
Probably.
Nope, 91. 91 is Drysdale, right?
I think so. Let me double check.
Yeah. I think 91 is Drysdale. It's 4-0. They are finally, getting them. It was 0-0 after the first.
Yeah.
Bob, you deal in your facts
91 is
and your
Kane.
eye test. My eye test is different than yours somehow.
Evander Kane is 91, and he has a
Kane
hat trick.
got a hat trick. Wow.
And that's his second of this postseason.
Wow, nice. Well, I mean, in this series, it doesn't. So nothing surprises me.
Mm-hmm.
Right,
Well, it wasn't in this series. He had one in the last, and now.
Oh, he had one in the last one, yeah. All right, and I got nothing against you, Bob. Really, Hockey Bob, I got nothing against you. You're welcome to your opinion. That's what this show's all about. It's
Hockey Bob, I'm with you, buddy. I'm with you.
Right.
You got half of this panel tonight.
Yeah, half of the panel. The only half that matters, right?
Yes.
Oh, wow. Edmonton, they are getting rid of their hats. I bet there's no O.B. Clark hat in that mess.
Probably not.
Oh, my goodness. I would like to see Lindgren get a chance here because Husso has had trouble defending on the breakaway.
I would love for that, but nobody else.
That's not going to happen.
It's not.
That's not going to happen.
But man, I think that would be our best shot. I really do. But then again, I've always liked Lindgren. I liked Lindgren in the preseason when everyone was talking about Ellis and Hoffer. I was, look at Lindgren.
Husso has been our number one majority of the season for a reason. Like Big Bob said last night, next man up mentality. I don't have a problem with next man up mentality. All right. I don't have a problem with that. And I want to see that. I would like, Lindgren's not getting a chance. And Husso, this is what I talk about when it comes down to the making the stops that you're not supposed to make, right?
I just think back to our games against Florida and Tampa Bay that were home and home. Mm-hmm. Husso got one of those, and it was like 50 saves that he had in that. And then the next one he started, but Lindgren had to finish it out, and that was a win.
Yeah.
And he was phenomenal. He was lights out, and he was stopping the breakaways. So I don't know if something was just in his head, in the Minnesota series, but he didn't give any goal off a breakaway last night, as far as I know.
Yeah.
Or did I miss something?
Yeah, he did.
He did? Which one? Because I was fixing a toilet last night, so.
Did he give?
I didn't think he did.
Well, yeah, the fourth one.
The one where he was half out of the net to go
to.
Okay, that doesn't count. That doesn't count. His coaches called him to the bench.
Well, no, and then the third one. The third one was a one-on-one situation.
I don't remember that.
The third goal, the one that we said was on him, was a one-on-one situation.
Okay.
Right? That one was. Smith is Benny and their offense is unstoppable.
Smith is Benny. Smith is old.
Right? Talking about pulling a goalie too early. Yeah, Chief did do that. You know, I am with you on that one. That should have waited. Nathan, you're right. I think that's a good one, right? You do that, and then we've got a chance, right?
And I agree with that wholeheartedly.
No, I do too, and I'm trying. I was looking at something else here. I'm going to throw a open invite to my new hockey buddies over there on Inside the Rink. Boy, that Inside the Rink article, you guys really love that one. That hit almost 1,600 views in 3 days.
Nice.
Or actually, in 2 days.
It was well written. I enjoyed that one a lot.
Well, thank you. One of the things with my articles, and I don't think most people understand this, I start writing them one way, and then while I'm writing them, they kind of take a different direction.
Well, I can relate. Some of my schoolwork ends up like that.
First goal was the first goal too. Yeah, that was a breakaway.
Yeah,
that was the one that we should have challenged. But even Berube came back and said, I don't think it was offsides, and if it was so close, it wasn't worth going on the power play or the penalty kill. Right? So.
Yes, he is playing very well.
Yeah, he has had a good series. I do admit that. And that 90. First of all, remember this: they clocked that at 98 miles an hour, and that was after it broke the stick.
Yes.
After it broke the stick. That's
what we've been waiting for.
It was probably about 102, 103. Right? But
I
it went right through that stick. It went right through
at above 100 on one that missed the net.
Yeah, but that thing went through that stick like a hot knife through butter. I mean, it's like that stick didn't even stand a chance. Shoop, right there.
I thought it was a weak
call on Bush. I'm not sure which one you're talking about. Well, there was the one with Kadri holding Kairu's stick. I wish Kairu would have clocked
that was a non-call.
Yeah, how do you not call that? He's got his stick. He's skating away, holding his stick, going, ha-ha, see, look what I got.
Yeah. And that goes to show what kind of player Kadri is anyway.
Yeah. I put it out an open invitation to see if anyone chucks in. Well, we'll be on for about 30 more minutes.
Nathan, I really didn't see where the contact was. I think that was one of the weakest calls of the night.
Now, well, is that the one that cost us the? Oh, that's the one where the power play came out, right? That even was okay. That was a player backing into Bushnevich, right? Backed up to Bushnevich and then tripped himself, and they called the trip on Bushnevich, and that took a power play goal away because they scored on that play. Well, I don't know if they absolutely would have scored, but the whistle went right as they scored, right? That's one to look. I don't advocate going back and using instant replay to verify penalties. I don't. I think that just takes. This is a game. This is an absolute game of flow. This is an absolute game of flow, and to do that, to stop the flow, that really does hurt one team over the other, and you can't do that. Fans should stop relying on the refs to call everything, be happy with what they get. Well, you know what, Ryan? One of the things that I've noticed, and I want to see now, yesterday I tried to bring this up and I couldn't. I don't know if the site's down or if they've got issues or something, but there's a site out there called Scouting the Refs. And I tried to get, here, it finally came up, yesterday's refs. I wanted to see, I couldn't get yesterday's refs up for the game yesterday. And I want to look at something. So we had Wes McCauley, Eric Fullett. Well, McCauley has a very impeccable reputation, right? And I think they called 5 penalties, right? They called three on, I can't say it now. They called 3 on Colorado and 2 on us. but there was one of the penalties was a matching minors, right? Wes McCauley calls 2.6 penalty, 3.2 penalties per game, 38th in the league. Eric Forlat calls 3.4, so they're 28th and 38th. That's how close they are, right? 10 slots between the two for 0.2 penalties. So that's just short of 7 penalties. So they were within their little bubble margin, right? They were within that. They were close enough to it for me to be somewhat happy. But the number that kind of takes me away is power plays per game. McCauley is good for about 2.6, and Eric is good for about 2.9. So that's 5 power plays per game, and we got 2. Well, we got 3. Right? So that kind of sways me a bit. There has been the amount of penalties called in our games versus the other games. Now, I got to wait for this one. We will still be way behind. Now, I don't know how many were called in the Rangers game today. The Rangers tied that back up, and they didn't tie it up, but it's now 2-1, right? I'm trying to find something here, and when I can find it, I can find it. When I can't, I can't. I want to look, and I can look real quick and figure out what the penalties were. So prior to today's game, the Rangers and Hurricanes had 12 penalties, if I remember right, from my article, one of the articles I wrote, right? Let's see here. Let's get into Game Center and take a quick look on this one.
It looks like there were 6 penalty minutes on both sides.
So that's 6
3 penalties apiece.
Huh?
3 penalties apiece.
Right? And here we go. Penalties 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, 6 penalties. So that jumps up that number there. And in fact, I can that absolutely jumps up the total there. Let me see if they update his per game. Let me take a quick look here at stats. Team stats, penalties. Where are the penalties? I'm looking. Give me a moment. It's fun here. So, hey, I do the best I can. I have fun. You have fun. We all have fun. Here it is. It's hiding on me. It's one of those stats that's kind of like down at the bottom, so you got to kind of work your way to find it, and then when you go down there to find it, your little menu kicks off on you. There we go. Okay. So penalties for these playoffs. Let me see here now. Actually, this isn't the one I want. Crap. I mean, it's a good one, but there's actually something I need to pull up something better. So give me a second while I try and pull it up.
Hey, Lance. Yeah, I kind of, wanted to show, so
she hijacked the show.
I hijacked it, and yeah, sorry. I tried to send a link, but my Facebook isn't connected to my computer, so it won't let me.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Somebody popped on?
Luca.
Huh?
Luca.
Hold on. Let's see who we got here. Luca must be one of the new guys from Inside the Rink. Is that correct?
Yeah. I saw you post a thing on there, and I was like, why is no one just jumping on? Yeah, why not? I'll jump on.
Well, because you guys don't know me yet, and then everyone thinks that I'm batshit crazy because I think that Kadri purposely ran into Bennington and nobody else does.
I saw you like going back and forth with everyone, and I'm one of the ones who didn't even comment because I was just like, you know what, just write an article about it. Like who cares? Because if you like you're that passionate about it, other people are going to think the same thing. So just write it. It doesn't matter. You know what I mean?
I haven't written it yet, and I've been trying to figure out the best way to write it because there's a couple of different ways to go with that article, right? And a lot of the times when I write articles, I don't know if you read the first one that I put on Inside the Rink. I started with one thought process. when I was going into the article, and it actually changed as I was writing the article.
I haven't yet because I've been pretty busy myself. But
yeah, no, I get it, Luca.
I'm gonna check that one out because I think that you posted that on like Friday night, and I was like in the middle of working, and then there's a game going on too, so I haven't been able to check it out. But that's pretty much how all of mine kind of work out. That you don't really know what they're gonna be, and then they just kind of transform into something else.
Yep. It's Ashley's light when it blinks like
light.
that. Yeah, it kind of messes. We got to work with Ashley and her white balance. We'll figure it out. No, so here's what I want to look at. And look, I'm going to ask this because I first time I met you and I don't know you. Yeah. Tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do, who your favorite teams are, what kind of writing you do. Let us give us some background so we can continue from there.
So from New York. Spent about 9 years in Los Angeles, lived kind of all over, but just a big Ranger fan. My first year actually out in California was my second year out in California, the Rangers played the Kings in the Cup. So that was miserable because you're just like there in the middle of it all, and they're just like Kings fans, but like, when you don't know how to pronounce like the captain's name or like the assistant captain's name, then like my flag goes up and I'm like, it's annoying. But yeah, so I lived out there for a while. I've jumped into this recently and started doing some writing for Inside the Rink. And a lot of the stuff that I write screenplays and pilots and stuff like that, and plays. And so I've been doing kind of writing from all. I actually
just so you know, the Writers Guild has a veterans workshop that I applied for but got turned down. So
in the veterans workshop in like St. Louis, or
no, I'm actually in Hawaii.
Oh, okay.
Right, but
yeah,
no,
I see Hawaii Blues.
Yeah. No, the Writers Guild out of Los Angeles has a veterans workshop.
Oh.
And I applied to it but got shot down, so got to get my writing a little better.
I mean, it's like there's probably so many people that submit for that. It's insane.
Well, yeah. So me and another friend of mine, veteran writers, we both applied. He made it the first cut, but got cut in the second cut.
That's cool. I mean, just to know someone actually made it through the first round at least.
Yeah. So it's I'm gonna. It was painful at first, but now that I feel a little bit better, and then getting, I've written some articles prior to the one that I wrote for Inside the Rink, and only got like less than 100 views on these articles.
Yeah.
And then to have the one on Inside the Rink kind of blow up in per se, what I'm used to, have 1,500, 1,600 views on it in 2 days is impressive to me.
Yeah,
I haven't had that
that's
before.
Awesome. Because I think only one of my articles, and I've written maybe like 20, have gotten up to that, and it was like it wasn't like a clickbait thing, but it was a rumor thing. You know what I mean? It was before the deadline. It was like we were going with one of our what was it? We just had a source that like had given us some news about like a player that might be traded to the Rangers, and so we went with that, and that was one of the larger number of views that I had gotten. And he ended up getting traded to the Bruins anyway.
Okay.
But yeah, so it didn't work out. But like, you know what I mean? It wasn't like I was like writing it. I'm like, oh, let's get more views. It was just like, this is what I was told. So
yeah,
I got it.
Speaking of the Rangers, they came up with a big win today.
Yeah, it was. They never really. I don't know. Did you guys watch it at all?
I got to watch some of it. I didn't watch all of it.
Okay, so it's just they never really, give you. They just never let you like have like an easy like last minute of the game or third period at all. It's long story short. Kreider coming, he's literally wide open. He has the puck. He's coming down the left wing, and there's empty net, and he's at like the face-off dot, and then shoots it at the net, and then hits the outside of the net. And then this is like 2 minutes left in the game, so I'm just thinking, I'm like, all right, this is again because the Rangers missed an empty net goal in the first, and missed an empty net. That would have been the game-winning goal in the first game. So I'm just thinking, like, oh, Jesus, like this is happening again. But they luckily one of the Rangers players, Tyler Mott, who was a phenomenal acquisition at the deadline, he just like backhand the puck, and he wasn't even trying to get it on net, but he just threw it down and it just kind of bounced in the net, like literally from his own zone. So it was a interesting last minute and a half of the game, but it was huge to get back in the series, and yeah, it's just really, I don't know, they're definitely they're one of the best defensive teams in the league. So it's
well, I picked them to go to the finals.
Yeah,
right. I did. I like them. I like them against
them.
Florida, but they may not be facing Florida now. So
I picked Tampa. Like when we were doing our like normal brackets or whatever, I picked Tampa to lose or Tampa to beat Florida. I don't remember. I haven't looked online when or how many games it was, but I just coming into this series now, like just like looking at it, I was just like Tampa's going to win in 5. And but for some reason, I'm like, I should have pulled the trigger on going for the sweep. I just thought that something about the way that Florida played against the Capitals, who I think the Capitals are really going to be on a downward trajectory soon.
Oh yeah, they will.
Yeah, they just didn't look like they had it. And I mean, their power play is what, like 0 for 30?
Yeah, it's insane.
Yeah.
Well, I gotta ask you this. I just got to see some of the stuff that you were putting in the chat group there. Apparently, Luca's not a fan of one of our players.
Oh no! That's a joke. I love Bushnevich. I do.
Okay,
it's a joke. It's a joke. Yeah.
Okay.
No. It's very funny though, because I haven't even looked at the chat, but it's really funny because there was a what was it? Oh man. So like, I mean that trade, it's like no matter what Chris Drury does the rest of his tenure as the Rangers general manager, people are going to hold that trade over him with it's just going to hold it over him for the rest of his career.
Well, I don't think it's that bad of a trade. Blaze is a very good.
Oh
good
yeah, we
player.
love Blaze.
And this is the frustrating part too. Is just that, this is the thing. As soon as it happened, like I literally knew nothing about Sammy Blais, knew nothing about him. 2nd round pick and Sammy Blais. My initial reaction was, okay, let's find out who this player is. Let's see him play a game. Let's see him do something before we actually judge him. But the thing is that Bushnevich was such a fan favorite. His nickname was Captain Happy. And he was just always, he was a very gregarious person on the ice. He was always smiling and all these things. And you just loved to see him play. And the thing is too, is that the Rangers have not really developed forwards very well. He's one of the ones.
Yeah.
He was I think a 3rd round pick. So like it was like, when you draft a 3rd round pick or a 2nd or 3rd or 4th, it's different than when you draft the 1st rounder because you expect that. But when you draft a later round guy, you kind of come more attached to those guys and you like root for them more in a way. So I think that the fan base really connected to Booch a lot, and they really, really just wanted him to stay. But when Kreider signed his contract, like that kind of sealed his fate. And then when they won the lottery to get Lafreniere, that even cemented it further.
What? You have to thank the president. I can't think of his name for dropping that ball.
Oh yeah,
I think that had everything to do with that ball getting come up. Right.
Whatever happened, I don't care. Doesn't matter to me. It doesn't matter. Look, I love
Daily. That's it. Daily.
Yeah. Look, whatever he dropped the ball. In my opinion, he did the right thing. I don't know. I have no idea. But also, the funny thing is too is like you could look at it and like I've watched that lottery drawing like probably way too many times for a healthy to actually watch a ball go up into a lottery tube. But I saw like the ball goes. It's like the Toronto Maple Leaf ball is like. It's like there, and then out of nowhere, if you watch, it just goes down, and then the
Rangers ball pops up. Yeah.
Yeah, but getting back to Blais, I was actually at the game when he got hurt, and it was like as soon as it happened, like because like my seats were terrible too, but I was seeing him kind of like he went into the corner and Subban just kind of like he slew-footed him, and he went straight into the boards. And you could tell he was messed up bad. But even going back to like the preseason with him, seeing him, like, the few moves that he made in the preseason, he scored a few goals in the preseason that were really, really beautiful. And he just fits into the lineup great. And the cool thing is that if the Rangers can kind of string a few more wins together and possibly win this series, he might be back for the conference finals.
Oh man,
Yeah,
I hope so. That would be great.
That would be good. Now, here's what we know about Blaze. Blaze is a very talented forward. He is a goal scorer. He has speed, but he is not a go-getting forechecker. Unfortunately, in St. Louis, you're not going to get ice time if you're not, up until this season, a heavy forechecker. So that was what made him expendable. Yeah. The thing with Buchnevich is a forechecker. Buchnevich has some vision. And this is what I think that Blaze lacks, was that passing vision. Mm-hmm. He can get in the right spot, but he has issues. And we've talked about this last season where he would make passes that were just off.
Okay.
Right? Yeah. So if he's playing that center role, which he did in St. Louis a little bit, while he played wing, he played the center role. He would get in there on that forecheck, and then trying to get the puck out, it would instead of going down the boards, it would come straight back out, and it'd be a one and done situation. So those are some of the things that we know about Blaze. Ryan Green, one of my buddies here, wants to know, what's your ideal of Lundqvist as a player in the Rangers organization?
What is it? Does he mean like in his post-retirement career? I'm guessing.
I think it means a little bit of both.
Yeah,
I'd like to know what you think about him when he was a player there. And then what you think about now in his postseason career.
So his post career is phenomenal, because all you got to do is put that guy in a suit, and like it's just like everything's just seemed to work out. Like he's like James Bond. It's insane. He's very good on, like, during the they have MSG broadcast and everything, and he's in the studio with that. And him and Steve Valiquette, and Valiquette was either his backup goalie at one point or the backup goalie before Lundqvist. I can't remember that timeline. I'm not positive about, but those two are together in the studio, and he's actually a very sometimes with goalies, you don't know how they think the game. Sometimes they could just be the, lunatics who's like, I'm stopping the puck, get out of my way. Or like Billy Smith, would smoke cigarettes, and like he'd change and take a shower in between periods. Lundqvist, like the way he talks about the game, he talks about the game in a very intelligent, strategical way sometimes, which I don't know. And I haven't been around a lot of goalies that are that good, so I can't really say if that's normal or not. I don't know. So I think that being said, I think he could either continue his career as a broadcaster and do stuff like that, or he could never wear the same suit twice. I mean, it's ridiculous. But also, fun fact, his haircut is like 12. It's like, I think, either $15 or $20. And his hair looks phenomenal every time. But anyway, I think he could either continue his career as a broadcaster, and he'd be great at that. Or I think he could possibly jump into a role in the front office type thing. Now, Chris Drury just got the general manager job, so I don't know.
This is one of my big fans, right? Somebody that's been with me from the beginning. So there's some tongue in cheek here.
Hockey player. Okay, all right, good information. But yeah, no, I think that he has the ability to go further into the organization, however much he wants. I don't know what that is, and he just.
Are you okay with them retiring his number so quickly?
Yeah, because at this point it was this is the thing with the Rangers. Like, they wait so long to retire numbers, and it's like, let the guy enjoy it, I think. And maybe it was almost like, it's like, this is also weird too, because I don't think I've ever seen it happen that quickly, where it's like, oh, he retired, and then they were like, we're doing it right away, within the first year. I've never seen that.
The only reason that I can think they did it that quick was the unknown of his heart condition.
That was actually gonna throw that in there too. You're right, and like they've had so many like.
Wow, I'm not a dummy for a change.
No, that was a very good point. I was thinking about that too, and I think I don't know. I'm not a doctor. So I can't really talk about what that entire situation was, and I hope it's all good with him. But I have no problem if you're going to retire his number and he's 100% his jersey's getting retired no matter what. I have no problem just not waiting at all and just do it.
I would like to see it be, like the 5-year wait, like the same wait for the Hall of Fame for the NHL is 3 years. To me, I think there's got to be a little bit of a separation there. But I get extenuating circumstances. Yeah. Right. But then you look at Bobby Plager, they waited almost 50 years, 40 something years to retire his number.
Ryan's got a good question for Luca. Who deserves to be the Rangers captain?
It's so funny because Gallant really messed with everyone, but when he came in and he's comes in one of his introductory, if it wasn't his first press conference, it was one of his first. And he goes, he said, if I was a betting man, and this is paraphrasing it, but it was something along those lines. But he's like, if I was a betting man, I would bet that we're going to have a captain on opening night. And the Rangers still don't have a captain. So
guess he's not a betting man.
Yeah. So it's either that or he bet against it. So it's really between two players it's really between, I guess, 3 players, maybe even 4. I think that's the problem. It's just there's too many at this point. I think Kreider is this is the problem. It's we're a fan. I write about the team. I'm not in the locker room, so it's really hard for me to really say, but I think Kreider is the only one that was on that 2014 team that went to the Cup. He's the last remaining guy, and he is a leader on the team. And there's no question about it. But then you have Jacob Trouba is also a leader on the team. Mm-hmm. Some fans don't want to hear that because it's funny. It's when a player makes a lot of money and he makes a few bad plays every now and then, people just go absolutely bananas. Mika Zibanejad is another possible candidate. A few younger players I remember last year in some interviews referred to him as the leader. It could be one or the other, or they could literally just really be waiting until Adam Fox is ready, because he's going to be there for a while. I mean, but him and Zibanejad literally just signed not matching, but I believe they both signed 8-year contracts this year. So they're both going to be here for the long haul. The thing with Kreider is that the Rangers have traded their last 2 captains, Ryan Callahan and Ryan McDonough. So I think that they don't necessarily want to trade another captain. I don't think they want to make this a precedent and 3 captains in a row they just trade. And the way that the salary cap looks, if the salary cap doesn't continue to rise, they're going to have to make some moves in a few years. And Kreider and Trouba are 2 of the guys who have no move clauses that become modified no trade clauses. So there's some like that. I would put my money on Kreider though. That's the long and short.
Well, I have another bigger question facing the Rangers. Been facing them for a long time. They've done nothing. When the hell are they going to get a mascot?
Oh, they got one recently. It wasn't really a mascot, but they got a puppy, and they called him Ranger or whatever, and they just threw him on the ice, and he was it was.
Oh, is that the one with the Red Sox bouncing on the ice that the NHL uses every now and then?
What?
There's one commercial the NHL uses about this isn't regular with the dog on the ice with Red Sox.
I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah, it wasn't that. It wasn't really. It was weird. It was they just called the dog Ranger and it was on Ranger social media for a few days. And I was like, that's kind of cool. They should just roll with that. It's hard to have a mascot when the team is named after the original owner.
Yeah.
So what are you gonna do? Get a Texas oil man to just walk around in a cowboy hat?
Well, it's still it's one of those things. They're the only team that doesn't have a mascot, and to me, they need one, right?
Yeah, I mean, look, it's like after the the storm that is Gritty that came around the last 2 years.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm a Ranger fan, but like, I love Gritty. I think he is the funniest.
Gritty was a great play on a mascot. Now I don't like the stringy stuff,
Yeah.
Right, but for the overall, it was just very, very well done. Anyways, here's a good question for you.
Why are the Rangers called that? Because Tex Ranger, I believe that was his first name. He was the owner, and he was like, "I bought the team. I'm gonna name him after me."
Right.
That's
I'll be honest. Something that I'd like to see him do is maybe make a mascot out of one of the founding fathers that was from New York. Madison, or not Madison, Hamilton, or I know there's some other big ones. The ones that really, like Washington or something like that, some of the Revolutionary War heroes or guys like that. That would be something that I think would be neat, because they use the Statue of Liberty. So having something along that line would be. Say again.
Yeah. I was just thinking as you're saying it. Sorry, I interrupted, but
no, that's fine.
Was popping into my head.
Yeah, but that's what I think that would be something that would connect New York to the importance of the Ranger. To me, that's where the Rangers all comes into it, and that. Yeah. And I do. I love the Rangers. I think that the Rangers have been one of the better teams. They're one of the funner teams to watch, even when they lose. And it's great to have you on, Luca, man. Thanks for popping on and jumping in at the last minute like this, bud.
No, I appreciate you guys having me, and just I probably wouldn't have done it if they lost today. I would be in a bad mood, but I
well, you see the mood that I've been in over the last game.
Yeah.
One of the things, so I want to address this. It was brought up again. Jeff Horseman brought up about the Kadri thing and the being threatened. Please. If you're one of the people out doing it, stop. Right? Stop. It's not. We don't need it. It's a sporting event. Mm-hmm. Yes, we are passionate about our sports. I am very passionate about the Blues. Am I upset that Kadri was involved in this incident that hurt Bennington? Abso-frickin-lutely I am. There is no doubts in that. Do I wish any ill harm on Kadri? No, I do not.
Just on the scoreboard.
Just on the scoreboard, right? That's where it's got to go.
Send him crying to Colorado.
You got to hurt him on that scoreboard. You got to take that cup away from him, right? They believe they've said it themselves. It's cup or bust. Well, let's make it bust, and that's how I feel about it. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna try and like I said, I got a little bit of an idea, because this is, for me, the one thing that sticks out, and I'll make this the going away point, or that we'll talk about. Is history matters, and Kadri's history in this situation plays a part, right? I know I've heard people say, if you don't, if it's another player, we're not going to this extent. You know what? I honestly don't know about that, because I showed the video earlier, and you remember that picture in the text where this guy says, "Oh, he's going for the puck," where he's got to stick out at the puck. Well, that's great, but where's his head? His head is actually turned looking at Bennington. How many goal scorers do you know look at the goalie on the left side of an empty net when trying to score a goal? Right? That's my point there. And his history with Bennington matters. I thought about calling an article the Kadri Affair.
Please do. Write it.
Yeah, maybe I will. I don't know. We'll see if I can sit down and pop something out. Sometimes, I don't like short articles. I don't like I know with inside the rink, minimum is 250 to 500. That's what they're looking for. For me, 1,000. If it's under 1,000, it's not a good article. So.
Yeah, it's I like to. The thing is too is you gotta sometimes. It's certain subjects are 500. You know what I mean? It depends. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it's just you know what? This deserves a more in-depth 1,000 word, dedication, I'd say. But yeah, no,
I think for Mike Bossy one I did on another site, I think I did that right at 700 words. but I felt it could have been more, but I needed, it was something that had to get out much quicker. If it's not 1,000 words, is that why you throw a lot of stats in there? No, I throw stats to back up what I'm trying to say. Ryan, I actually, I'm not going to put that comment up, but he's kind of right. No, I want to back up what I say, right?
Yeah.
Like one of the things that came out, and then I had some, idiot in one of the comments go, "Oh, I read that article, and all it told me was that if the Blues score, they win." No, it's not that the Blues score. It's that the Blues are an offensive team. That was the point of the article. Yeah. And there's too many fans that think that they need to be this heavy forechecking team that won the 19 Cup. This isn't that team anymore, right? They aren't that. They are one of the best offensive teams in the league, and they need to remember that and play that way. If they play that way yesterday, even after Bennington gets hurt, they win this game, right? They score 4 goals. Remember, 2 of the goals were basically empty nets. One wasn't, but it should have been. The other one was. If I'm Husso, I'd run my ass to get off the ice as quick as possible so it counts as an empty netter instead of trying to pull back, because you're not stopping that goal unless you're diving and knocking the puck away or something like that. It just ain't happening. So that's where I'm at. No, I try and back up what I say with the numbers and with that. One of the things that I've looked at is, the conspiracy theory hat. I put that on a little bit. In the very first game that the Blues played, the 2 refs that they had, one of them was ranked 3rd in calling penalties. The 3rd most penalties in the league, right? During that game, those 2 guys called 3 penalties. That's it. 3 penalties. Those 2 guys worked game 2 of the Battle of Alberta and called 18 penalties. Tell me how you go from calling 3 to calling 18. You know what I mean? If you're the guys that call penalties, call penalties. Right? We got Wes McCauley in yesterday's game, and they actually called a little bit less than what they normally call. Right? They ended up calling 5 total, and I think their overall number was 7. But they called one that was that offset, so that dropped how many power plays down. So they were under their power play number, way under it, right? There ended up being 3 power plays where they normally give 7. Well, that's, when you're talking, minute numbers, the difference between 3 and 7 is large. You know what I'm saying? So that's where I kind of wonder why all of a sudden the whistles got put away. Uh-oh, I'm in trouble. Okay, we can do that. I've talked too long. Guys, thank you so much. First, let me give Luca a chance to tell everybody where they can find him at, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, thanks. So you can find me on Twitter at LBigCalzone, ELBigCalzone. And I write for Inside the Rink. I write for the most part for the Rangers, but also the Preds, and stuff like that. But yeah. Thanks for having me, guys.
Oh
no, Luca, thanks for jumping on, man. Really, and then maybe you can tell everybody that I'm not the jackass they all think I.
He might actually be,
show
but
with some
he's
intelligent viewers.
Hey, you know what? It was a lot of fun, and you're not a jackass, so there you go.
Well, we had a great time. What a great show tomorrow night, man. This is that you talk about. I thought Game 3 was pivotal. Now Game 4 is absolutely pivotal.
Yeah.
Or both teams.
I picked the Blues. And this is before I even knew you were going to be writing for us. So I picked the Blues. I really thought I think that they have the team that could actually compete with the Avalanche. But yeah.
Well, I believe that all along. I did this on purpose, but I picked the Avalanche to win in my the brackets. So that way, if the Avalanche, if they beat the Blues and they win, great, I get the points and move on. But if the Blues win, I'm happy too. So there was a little bit of strategy in that pick, right? Again, Luca, thanks so much for coming on. Ashley, this was your show. You hijacked it, so you get to close it out today.
Well, guys, we'll be seeing you tomorrow at, I guess it's 7:30 again. And we'll have their pregame and intermission shows and postgame. So until then, Guy, finish it out.
This is Guy, the Hawaii Blues fan, for Luca from Inside the Rink, and Ashley Slapshot Jones saying aloha, mahalo, and you gotta know we're bleeding blue with you. Aloha.